Okay, welcome to module 6 of our Driver Content and Partnership Academy. We're getting to the end, team. Hope you're feeling great. I hope you are creating some unbelievable content and the most unbelievable pitch deck. So let's talk about landing sponsors and keeping them, okay? So we're going to partner like a pro in this one. So this is where we go from posting content to actually turning visibility into partnerships. So because sponsors obviously don't just appear, okay? They're built through smart targeting and confident outreach and professional follow-up and a good partner servicing, okay? I want you to remember this. A partnership is not a donation, it's a relationship. Your job is to make businesses feel like partnering with you is a smart, low-risk decision. So let's make a big mindset shift where most drivers sort of approach sponsors like they're asking for help, okay? We're absolutely flipping that because you're not asking for help. You're actually offering like attention, content, trust, and access to a very passionate audience of motorsport fans. So instead of like sponsor me, like over here, like please sponsor me, change that energy to here's a marketing opportunity that fits your business, okay? Which is why we ask all those pre-qualifying questions in the last module when we're building out our proposal. So sponsors don't need to be big brands either. The best partners actually align with your lifestyle and audience. They're local businesses who want local visibility, businesses whose customers match motorsport demos, and businesses who can actually afford marketing, okay? It's not necessarily always the biggest ones. So some great categories to go after here are trades and construction, finance, insurance, automotive, hospitality and accommodation, health and fitness, tech and services, and local venues and community-focused brands as well. So the key here is really alignment. So if your audience wouldn't buy it, it's harder to sell, okay? So just think you want to be aligned with the brand that you're marketing for or promoting, because otherwise, it's harder to sell to an audience that isn't interested in those things. Step 2, you want to build your target list, okay? And build it properly. We're going for quality over quantity here. It's a lot better to have 30 highly aligned businesses and like 300 randos, okay? So for each target, you want to know what they sell, who their customer is, where they're located, and what their marketing looks like now, okay? Because then that way you can identify the pain points of what you can solve. So like I said before, it's like awareness, content, leads, credibility, whatever that looks like. And then this is how you make your pitch feel personable without being time consuming, right? So our outreach system is simple and it's repeatable. So these will all be in your notes, but I'll just talk you through them now. So the outreach system is 1, first touch, short and clear, okay? 2, follow-up 1, value-led. 3, follow-up 2, social proof and urgency, okay? We want to agree to get them to a call or a meeting. We want to be able to send the package options post that, and then we want to be able to close them, onboard them, and then deliver them and report on what we've done for them, and then renew and or upgrade, okay? Now, most people fail at step 2. They don't follow up, okay? I mean, in your own inbox, it takes a few shots to get in there and get somebody to open your email, okay? So once you see a brand consistently, it already subconsciously is like, okay, cool. Like they're in it for this. They want my attention, all right? So I'll run through those again. Right, so outreach system. Step 1, first touch. Step 2, follow-up 1. Step 3, follow-up 2. Step 4, call or a meeting. Step 5, send your package options. Step 6, close and onboard. Step 7, deliver and report. Step 8, renew and upgrade. Sponsorship is like sales. The money is absolutely in the follow-up. And this next bit, I'm going to go through what to say at your first touch points. Keep it short, no essays, all right? And you can actually even like DM and email people as well. So really you kind of want the first line to be who you are, then another line, why them, then another line, what you're offering, and then the final line, ask. Can I send you one pager? Are you free for a chat? And then we move over to, which I'm going to give you these examples of what a DM or an email would be, okay? So that's kind of like your step 1. And then it's your follow-ups, okay? So I would normally do my first follow-up maybe 3 days after, and then my second follow-up maybe like another 2 days after that, 2-3 days after that. And then if you want to follow up like a third time, I would leave it probably like a couple of weeks. And then again, the narrative is like, no stress is if now's not the right time, like should I circle back closer? Or, then that way it's like you're asking instead of like hassling them and they'd be like, oh my God, like stage 5, So I've got all the scripts for you in your notes as well, so you can go through and have a look at them. And then let's talk about the call. So if they say yes to a chat, what you're going to need is 3 things. Okay, first thing, you're going to have to understand their goals. Is it awareness? Is it content? Is it leads? Is it client experience? Is it whatever? Okay, understand that. Second thing you're going to want to know is you're going to want to match your package options to their goals. Do not pitch everything, just pitch the fit. Okay, again, why I love a bespoke option where you've got your menu of things that they can do based off of their marketing objectives. And then the third step is make the next step easy. Okay, I'll send you a 1-pager with 2 options and we can lock it in. Don't send them like essays of things, and don't try and reaffirm what you've already talked about too much, because then you kind of like, they're like, I get it, just send me the bloody options. Okay, so the meeting isn't about proving you're worthy. All right, it's about finding fit and making it easy for them to decide. Okay, so it's not that super despo energy where you're like, oh my God, please sponsor me. It's not. It's just like, hey, here is how I'm going to solve all of your marketing problems with motorsport marketing. Easy. All right, so we've got them on the call. They've agreed. They're coming on board. Now, the onboarding process is very, very important, right? This is basically the beginning of the relationship with these businesses. So you're going to want to look like a pro here. Now, you can send them a simple onboarding email, a thank you, or what happens next, or what you need from them. So you're going to need your logos, key messages, offers, links, whatever, what they can expect and the deliverables and the reporting timeline, and also who to contact. So this is where you separate yourself from drivers who are like, fuck yeah, I've got the money, I'm out of here now, So this is really, really important. Sponsor servicing, this is how you keep them, okay? So here's a little bit of a harsh truth, all right? Landing a sponsor is great, but keeping them is where the real money is, right? We want massive amounts of retention. So sponsor servicing basics, right? 101, tag them properly, okay? And consistently, very important. Send them the content links, give them repost ready assets, mention them like a partner, not a transaction, okay? So when you're posting about them, don't be like robotic and be like, they do this, go hit them up, right? You need to understand their brand, because you effectively are an extension of their brand. And you want to keep them in the loop before and after race weekends. So if you can get one of the team, like even during the race weekends, to text them when you're sitting on dummy grid, or keep them engaged and keep them there at the time, that's how that you get the buy-in. And then make sure you deliver your post round update within 48 hours. Okay. And something that I do that I found really, really works is ask them what success looks like for them. Okay. And then name your content to that. Because if you're guessing and you're like stressed about what you're going to create, you're already going to be in this weird mindset and energy of, having something really epic to post, or being worried about what they're going to think. If you already know what success looks like to them, all you have to do is, aim towards that. So then we move into sort of the renewal/upgrade mindset, because retention is obviously the goal, but upselling is like nirvana. Okay. So it's one thing to secure sponsors for the same amount of money each round. It's quite another to then get them to, 2x or whatever X their investment. All right. So you should be thinking about renewal from day one, because you're building a relationship, not doing a one-off post. Okay. So simple renewal language. I'll give you some examples. So if you like to continue to next round, I can lock that in this week. Want me to propose an upgrade package based on what performed best? That's a really good one. And do you want to bring a couple of clients trackside next round? Offer them ways to make themselves look better. Confidence is attractive and it makes it easy for them. So let's get to the homework portion. Your homework this week with this module, wherever you're at. Build a list of 30 aligned targets. Okay. Pick industries that align with you, that you believe that you could sell quite easily. Okay. Then I want you to send 10 first touch emails and then do 3 follow-ups. From that, you should be able to book at least 1 call, right? That's all you have to do. We've gone from 30 to 10 to 3 to 1. Okay. Create your sponsor onboarding checklist. Once they come on board, have you got their logo? Have you got your key messaging? Have you got their offer or their code, all their links, and have they approved everything, or do they have to approve it before it gets posted? Okay. And you have to commit to this, right? You follow up, you do not ghost your own goals. Yes, I understand it's very overwhelming. And yes, I understand it's a bit scary to, be in a room trying to sell yourself. I completely understand. I do it every single day. Rejection, it sucks, right? But the more you do it, the less icky it feels when you get rejected, and the better you become at pitching yourself, really. So you really want to focus on building out those lists, and it is a numbers game. It's, whilst you want quality over quantity, the more you have to reach out to, the more likely you are to have a yes. Okay. And make sure you're methodically following them up, not sporadically following them up. Don't do like a couple 2 days and then like leave it 2 weeks and then they've forgotten who you are. Like, make sure it's consistent. Set aside, an hour, like on a Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday, for example, or like however many times a week, so that you're doing it consistently. And make sure that when they ask for meetings, that you book it in as soon as you can, right? And be the one to send the calendar invite, and be the one to book the Zoom or the Google call or whatever the platform is, or even if it's just a phone call, either. Make sure you can lock that baby in as quickly as you can, and do it as close to within when they say yes. So if, they say yes today, for example, but they want to book the call for a week's time, I'd still be checking in with them and being like, hey, I just found this cool video from last time we did this. We could do something like this together. Just an idea, right? So these are all the things we do to continually nurture our leads and our outreach list. I'll even send post race update reports to those businesses and say, hey, I know this wasn't of interest to you this time. I'm just letting you know this is the kind of exposure our drivers got for the partners that did come on board, if you're interested in coming on board next time. Okay. There are so many warm ways to reach out to these people. That's not like, yo, sponsor me. Okay. So again, if you want to check your outreach emails with me, please do. And I'm more than happy to give you feedback and support and advice. And, we use a database to keep all of our leads in one, and we sort them by industry and by location, and probably by a bunch of other fields that the team do and that I'm not aware of. But yeah, it's important to be able to dissect the data as well, because if you're racing nationally, you go to different places, and then again, it might not have been right for them this year, but maybe next year it will. And so you want to keep a track of who you've reached out to, what the conversations have been, because there is nothing worse than you following up somebody who's actually replied to you. It makes you look unbelievably unprofessional. So that is module 6. Next module, we are going to go through basically media and how to pitch yourself to media and get featured, even if you're not quote unquote famous. Okay. So now you've got the system to land and keep partners. Let's go and get them some extra media to sweeten the deal. All right. I'll see you over in module 7.